Hey everybody, this is Mike with Free Roaming Photography, and I'm bringing you another story behind the shot. And just real quick, if you are interested in coming on a private photography workshop with me in Grand Teton or Yellowstone National Park, look for the link in the description for more info on that. And so let's jump in. So this image is from a really good Northern Lights display that I saw here in Jackson Hole in Grand Teton National Park. And this was back in the summer of 2015. And up until that point, this was by far the biggest Northern Lights display that I had ever seen. I was blown away by it. I was out on the RKO Road in the middle, roughly the middle of it, over the Snake River, which is actually closed these days because there's been a lot of erosion along the road, and it's just not a safe road to drive anymore in a lot of places. So the park has closed it down. So already in that respect, I'm happy I went there and got this because this shot essentially doesn't really exist anymore. But this was a really big Northern Lights display. I was in a great location, had the Tetons in there, just got some beautiful imagery. What you don't see going on behind this image is this odd call or noise that I heard as I was shooting. Of course, I was next to my car, so I wasn't too worried. I could always jump in there if I needed to, which wound up happening. But off in the distance, I heard this noise coming from the sagebrush. And the best way I can describe it, I'm not even going to try to attempt it, is it started off like the first half of it was a loud, big dog barking, but then the second half of it was like a growling, snorting. And so a pretty spooky sound when you're out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night by yourself. So I didn't think much of it until I noticed it was getting closer and closer, and that started to get me spooked. And so I had one camera that was doing a time lapse, one camera I was just trying to do some free form stuff with, which this image is from that. Because of that, I got a little spooked. I jumped back in my car, cracked the window just a little bit to hear where it was and where it was going. And I would say it passed within maybe 20 or 30 yards of where I was and then just kept going away. And I have no idea what it was to this day. I've asked rangers, I've asked people that know a lot about the biology of this, the ecology of this area, which I claim to be pretty good at too, but that noise eluded me, so I was hoping somebody else might have an idea. But still to this day, I haven't gotten a straight answer, and the best I can assume is that it could have been a wolverine, which would be exciting, except I didn't see it and I didn't want to confront one in the dark in the middle of the night. So that's the story behind this shot. And otherwise, really happy with this shot. This shot is actually hanging up in the Snow King Observatory and Planetarium. And it's a really just great shot that I was happy with. Once the noise did go away, I did manage to get a few more shots and keep going, and started to get tired around 1:30 a.m. and that's when I drove out. Now, in terms of the setting, since this is Northern Lights, I didn't want to exceed 5 seconds because what that does is that blurs those ribbons together and all you get is more of a solid color than the streaking color of the Northern Lights. So I kept my shutter speed pretty quick at 5 seconds. And to do that, I had my aperture opened up to f2.8 and my ISO pushed up to 4000, and this was on a 5D Mark III. So it could handle that kind of noise, especially in low light. So I was very happy with that, and it came out really nice. And really not much that I would change about this image. I'm happy with it. It came out really great, and it's hanging up in a nice facility up on top of Snow King right now. So very honored to have that there. And it's just a nice Northern Lights image with the Tetons as a good foreground subject, and not much that I would change. So that is the story behind that shot. If you are interested in checking out those workshops, please look for the link in the description. And please like and subscribe. There's going to be more videos like this, along with many other tips and info on other subjects. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And thanks for watching. Happy trails.